Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is for Thursday, the 7th of September. Not September, October. And it is not necessarily solely set for that date. And it's best to be utilized when you see it rather than when it was created for. So if you're seeing it on a date other than September, why don't I keep it saying September? Other than October 7th, just use it when you see it, kind of thing. Please check out the drop-down menu below the video on the YouTube channel on the daily videos. In there is just some housekeeping information that I want you to know, what decks I use on any given video, how to contact me and follow me on social media, things like that, and also just some stuff I want you to think about when utilizing the channel. So this is a broad spectrum reading. I speak in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life. If it does fit with a particular situation or person or something you're dealing with, how you're feeling, great. Utilize it to your advantage to the best of your ability. If it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It just might be a reading for somebody else at this time. So kind of take what you need and leave the rest. So let's see what the card is for the day. We have the King of Swords, Owl. Very much precision, communication is key today. Thoughts are key. Being in control of our thoughts, being in charge of our thoughts, coming from a place of sort of respect and authority. I forgot to take this down from yesterday, sorry. Respect and authority. The king is going to not only give respect, he's also going to sort of automatically receive respect or demand it in a way just with his presence. So we want to hold ourselves to a higher ideal. That's kind of how I feel with kings. There's a little bit more of a responsibility that comes with them. It comes with the position of being being a king. So keeping that in mind today, King of Swords would favor analytical thought over emotional thought. We saw that card, Justice, yesterday, which was an air sign card, and we have the Fool underneath this, right? Where that's also associated with the air signs. And so we have a lot of like thought air energy going on. This is about probably getting our mind right, getting things under control. Hold on 1 second, I think I hear the puppy. Sorry, I gotta pause the video. He's in the living room in the pen. 1 moment. Sorry about that. So, we are going to be in our analytical mind more so, using logical thought today. The owl is an interesting symbol. I love that the moon is behind him, so there's a mix of intuition and intelligence that's going on here. One is, obviously, like logical thought is going to take precedence with the King of Swords in any dealings that we deal with today. We don't want to get caught up in our emotions, not to say that our emotions are bad, but listen to our intuition and then use our logical brain from there, right? And allow that to be sort of how we handle people, situations, with a sense of clarity, right? Not allowing ourselves to get sort of emotionally pulled in, because that can sometimes hinder our ability to make clear, precise decisions. Ultimately, the kings are going to do what's best for them, right? That's how they became king in the first place, if you kind of look at it from that perspective. So we still need to kind of keep ourselves as the central focus in all of this. I kind of feel like that's been a little bit of a theme of what's going on with the cards lately, is it's telling us to keep the focus on ourselves, especially I think we saw, wasn't it the Ace of Wands in the beginning? I can't remember. Yeah, the Ace of Wands was in the beginning of the week, and aces always bring a focus to the self too, where we're at spiritually, what we want. And then the Fool's Journey is the first card of the major arcana, which is again a number 1. The kings to me are also about sort of setting, they, I don't want to say this, like they have their needs and their needs come first, but they also do things for the benefit of the realm in a way, right? So they can think not only personally, but also collectively at the same time. And so using that knowledge, using that wisdom, and going after that is going, and having that be your perspective is going to be key today. It's going to help you. Also, if any sort of truth came out the day before with that justice card, right? Any sort of awareness or truth has been discovered from ourselves or from another, you know, utilizing that truth to our advantage would be the King of Swords. He's going to be clear, precise, logical, not necessarily wanting to hear long-winded stories about anything. You know what I mean? He's just going to move through it. So keep that perspective today. Keep that position of strength and authority within your space, and keep your thoughts and your communications clear. Especially, I think right now Mercury is retrograde, so this card would benefit us in a great way if we can channel sort of the energy of this card. If we can project ourselves as if we are the King of Swords, it's going to sort of balance out the energies of the wonkiness of all of the planets that are in retrograde, especially Mercury. So here is the Oracle card. It's Apple. To me, you know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? And apples to me are also nourishment. So when I look at this, I get a really positive vibe from this. I feel like this is about our own mental health for some reason. The apple to me is giving me a healing vibe. Sometimes I can get like poisonous apple and that sort of thing, you know, along with fairy tales. But I'm getting more of that vibe of taking care of oneself through, you know, how do I want to say this? Like, proper nourishment is a very basic need of the body that is obvious to all of us that we have to have. And so the apple is giving me more of that vibe this morning, right? Where with the King of Swords and his analytical, practical, logical nature, it's about, all right, let's put first things first. How do we best take care of ourselves within this situation, and then take care of the greater collective without getting caught up in what other people need or whatever people are asking us for, even if it's emotionally, you know, even if it sort of attaches to us emotionally, like, oh, I need this from you, you don't love me unless you do this. It's that kind of a vibe. We don't need to, we don't want to entertain that today. We want to be practical, right? Practical like not only the King of Swords, but practical like this apple. It's a very simple symbol. It's a very nourishing, healing object in a way, right? So keeping that in mind, keeping things simple, logical, precise today, keeping a focus on taking care of oneself and understanding that that does a service to the greater whole is also okay. Let's look to the grounding stone. And the word is promise. So grounding in the opportunities that are around us. They may not actually be with us yet, or they may not be ours yet, but they're there. I mean, I can see promise in that apple, right? Hence, like the idea of it being fruitful, the idea of it being harvestable, the idea of like with patience, logic, and care, we can have a reward of some sort that nourishes us in that way. That would also be the promise of that nourishment, right? Of that healing, of that clear mind, logical thought, clear communication, bringing about a very simple opportunity for us to nourish ourselves in a way that brings about more opportunity, which would be that promise, right? Or the idea of, you know, when I look at this promise stone, I don't think of making a promise to somebody like, oh, I promise I'll do that for you. It's more like, what is available to us? What is the potential that's within a situation, like the promised land, right? Or a situation being full of promise, right? In the sense of opportunity, possibility, that sort of a thing. So when I'm thinking of that, I'm saying ground in that. Yesterday's word was dreams, right? And to me, promise is a bit closer than dreams. Dreams are further away in a more ephemeral, dreamlike state, maybe not fully realized. With the King of Swords and his knowledge and the practical nature of the apple, we can apply all of this to some of those dreams and start to begin to see maybe the actual creation of them or the opportunity of them becoming very much reality. That would be the idea of this promise. And then, you know, grounding in that, and then thus committing maybe a promise to ourselves to pursue this, to go after it, to stay clear, to stay precise, to stay healthy, and to follow in those sort of in those steps. Does that make sense? And remember, underneath this is that Fool energy, which is major arcana, And he is very open-minded. He's a free spirit. He is not he's not tethered by like societal rules, right? And although the King of Swords would be, he's making his decisions for himself first and foremost, regardless of what the society around him may need. Does that make sense? So keeping that in mind and utilizing the intelligence of the King of Swords to indicate your, the newness of maybe the fool's journey that you might be on, the shift in perception or the shift in goal or the shift in possibility of what's available to you is going to be important. So follow that, pay attention to that, and see what this day brings you. That is your forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up button. Sorry about the pause in the middle of it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Join the channel and share the video out with your friends. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.